Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8, yes, of the Partisans of Parsh. This is the Dice for Brains, it's an extra special episode today, as you can tell by the spooky accoutrement and the fact that I am costumed, and I can't wait for you to see the rest of the cast. We're doing it's not really related to Halloween, but we're going to play a Star Wars game, and we're going to dress up doing it. So, if you are just stopping by for the first time, we should have all of the VODs available here on Twitch or on our YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. If you want to learn more about Dice for Brains, you can go to diceforbrains.com. And a big special thanks to our Patreon executive producer, Brendan, as this is his season. Yay, thank you. If you want to join him and the rest of our lovely patrons, you can head over to patreon.com/diceforbrains. Just because I am so absolutely eager to get started with, what is pretty much Act 3 now, and I want you to see everyone's costumes. We are going to go right to the crawl and then get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this extra special episode. I'm so excited. Look, everyone's dressed up. Yay.
Hi, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Hi,
Happy
Puddin'.
Halloween. Oh, my. So, yeah, Eileen, this was your idea, right?
Yeah, I'm so
Yay.
excited. And everybody just, they gave in to me after I did a Twitter poll and then made them all see that everybody wants this, so.
Yeah.
End of sentence. We don't need to go.
I
Yes.
wasn't wearing this anyway or anything.
That's your standard
No,
Tuesday
no,
outfit
not
we make you
all.
change out of usually. Yeah, okay. I like that. Wonderful. All right. Well, welcome to the episode, everyone. It's episode 8. Let's do some introductions and meet the lovely cast. Eileen, you want to start?
I get to go first. My name is Eileen Shaw. I have to find my list. My character's name is Selculdia. She is a Solonian. Her career is spy. Specialization is slicer. Motivation is connection-based. And it's to prevent the Empire from bringing war to Solonia and to keep her den safe from afar. Her duty is intelligence. So that's her. I'm just so excited to be dressed up. You have no idea.
Me too.
It's like, my heart is like, oh.
No idea at all, Eileen. None.
I'm assuming everyone else is already sweating profusely in their costume, but is fine with it.
Yes.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm cool as a cucumber, sir.
I'm
Brendan's
probably
got
going to
the
do this
short
every
sleeves
stream
on.
from now on. It's so much fun.
I enjoy dressing up for them. Anywho, we're going to go way off topic. Let's keep going with some introductions before we get completely sidetracked in the middle of an episode. Maybe we can get through. Brendan, will you do your introduction, please?
Hi guys, my name's Brendan, playing Nullis Nov. He's a Celestin. He's an ace driver. He's motivated by vengeance. He wants to destroy the Empire. His duty is space superiority or just general vehicle combat superiority, and that does it.
Yeah, that's going to be time for some of that, I think, in this episode. I don't know, do we want to tell everyone what we're dressed up as? I know that's Twitch is making some assumptions about your costume, Brendan, which is entertaining.
Yeah, it's a football official.
Nice. You might want to, I believe the expression is throw a flag on some of this shenanigans going on in the chat right now. They're being fun.
I can't see it. Please tell us.
No, we don't want to. No, we can't. And then it will just never ever stay on topic. Speaking of which, now that we've got derailed twice in our introductions, Shu, would you care to do yours?
Certainly, I'm Joshi Reynolds. I'll be playing Pal Eden. He's a human soldier, specialization commando. His duty is support. And I think that's pretty much it.
Excellent. And Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan White. I am playing Soli Drift. Soli is a spy infiltrator, and she has the motivation of resource acquisitions, which basically means taking stuff. And she's motivated by her desire to save her brother, who's been kidnapped. And I am dressed as the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, good.
And if you get me angry, I am the White Rabbit from the bloody eating nasty white rabbits.
I love
it. So I have two costumes.
Excellent. Well, I guess we'll see how the evening unfolds and see what we end up with. So what happened last time? Before we jump in, and I'm gonna fast forward a little bit when we jump in because I want to get right to this action. But let's recap very briefly so everyone or any new viewers is kind of caught up to speed because it's gonna get fast now. So what happened last time?
I killed the escaped intelligence officer that was lurking around the base.
I like that we fast forwarded to the part where you killed him, and then I also like that he has now escaped instead of let go.
I executed him. I had to get that out there.
Yeah, well done.
And there was
I'm sorry, I just got that because of the costume. I'm so sorry. It's been a long day.
Really? Anyway, there was a speech to be had and a plan to be, executed. And we were
hilarious.
Stop it! Ow! Stop it! That hurts. And we were going to move forward on the assault on the tilt.
Yes.
And the release of the conscripted / enslaved miners.
Employees?
Conscripts.
Yes.
Forced laborers. Prisoners. Prison laborers. The prisoners with jobs, if you want to put it that way, to avoid the slavery term. So we're going to try to. There's supposed to be a revolt operating from them, and it's going to be an armed contingent. It's going to have to go in there and let them out to start kicking some Empire butt.
And then hopefully, like, join
hopefully, and move on Fort Hope while Fort Hope is lightly populated.
Yes, they've just lost, well, not lost, but sent off the most recent graduates from the academy there. So
Relatively
their numbers
empty.
are as light as they're ever going to be. So
yeah.
And that's really phase 2 of the plan. And none of it matters if you don't succeed on the tilt, realistically, because that's the big threat to all of the population. If they're able to force this floating rock to start, shifting, the magnetization will do the rest and literally flip the thing upside down, and then everybody dies, because that's a long way to the bottom.
So we were discussing possibly splitting the party up.
Yes.
Attack on the 2 fronts.
Yep.
And so the next decision was to figure out what teams we were going to put together.
Right.
And
so
any mix really kind of makes sense or balances, because we all have strengths that we can apply to these situations.
Well, and it's not just that, but the rebel forces at the base, that decision's being made with Bronwyn and everything like that. So when we actually get into the episode, we're going to kind of start in the middle of the execution of the mission. But I want to know a few things about it before we start. So you've had ample time to, equip yourself with what you have managed to procure from the barracks, increasing your soak 1 or 2, as you apply different layers
I found
of
some
armor.
helmets for everyone. We found some long-range communicators and a flak jacket for those who were particularly lightly armored.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You're well equipped. You had time to discuss mission objectives and to effectively divide your forces to succeed on both fronts. Hopefully then replenishing your forces with some of the newly freed employees, and then kick the Imperials off the planet by taking over Camp Hope.
All right, gang. So that being said, how are you going to distribute ourselves?
And the rest of the rebel forces. So don't forget, you've got, with the Aegis too, you've got a full squadron here, made up of, Y-wings and X-wings.
Mm-hmm. And then we also supposedly have some, well, that's interesting, because we also have some background forces that are represented by our Shady Town contact.
Yep.
He
Consider those almost mercenary type forces.
Okay.
And then you've got your spec op teams that...
was it Talek?
Absolutely, yeah. Lieutenant Talek leads them.
Talek?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I thought he left.
I'm sorry?
Didn't he just ditch everybody?
No, he's just a sneaky super commando. He's out there lurking in the bushes all the time.
That's basically it, yeah. But
the other fellow is always off doing some shady skimming off the top business, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
So that spec ops team is uniquely equipped to do infiltration and quick combat scenarios. I mean, they're well suited for the task at the mines for certain.
The task at the mines?
And that's kind of their deal. I mean, even when you get into counterintelligence and stuff like that,
So the mercenary contingent, were they going to be able to be involved in the tilt assault? Or is the tilt assault going to be largely a vehicular assault?
That's a thing. The tilt's on the side of the rock. I mean, it's halfway up this giant inverted mountain. So there's not really a ground to force on necessarily, unless you're doing some kind of rappelling or...
It's almost like a space assault, because it's so far removed from no one's going to get there by foot. It's built to the side of the thing.
Yeah, it's inaccessible, and I mean, flying next to these things is not easy, nonetheless, as you will remember. The magnetization messes with vehicles. It's hard to do what you need to do.
So how is the force getting to the mine?
Very carefully.
On foot?
Well, so the mines are on a separate floating rock. How the employees are transferred normally is they're bussed over on giant birds, giant leathery dinosaur-looking creatures that they basically put a container on its back and it flies from one end to the other.
So here's where I'm getting at. So we have to get at least we have to get Talix, Spec Forces, because they are going to be useless going to the till. We have to get those guys to the mine to help out, right?
I agree.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's a very good assumption, I would say, without giving too much away.
I'm of the same mind. I follow your mind.
Besides our U-wing, is there any troop transportation vehicles on?
No,
We have a Y-wing now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like a troop transport vehicle. The base isn't designed for that kind of thing.
So the U-wing has to go to the mine, right?
No, not necessarily. You've got multiple different ways to get there. You can procure a vehicle. You could take the natural transportation.
There's some sort of winged mount situation going on.
Yeah, big flying buses.
I think
that big.
The gunnery we have.
Yes, they are massive.
They carry like 6 or more people big.
Yeah, closer
or
to
one Solonian.
Yeah, 50. Like they're
what?
But you got to understand,
50?
it's 50.
I must have seen one of these beasts.
It's 50 employees of the mine. Yeah, they nest on. Yeah, so they're packed in pretty tight when they move them. But
are they big balloon flatworm whittlers or?
So they're dodo. What's the winged dinosaur where it connects to their feet? I've now forgot the name of it.
Pteranodon.
Yes.
Pterodactyls.
No, it's that works too, but yeah, it's the massive wingspans, large, leathery.
Quetzalcoatlosaurus is the largest wingspan they've discovered.
A big winged dinosaur, I think, is
roughly, but it's got some featherage and that sort of stuff. It's got a little bit of plumage, but it's
it's not, I was really picturing. Well,
it's massive and spaced out with like leathery parts, so it's very blended.
But it's not a living blimp.
No, not really. It's a bit faster and angrier than that if you do stuff to it.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
But the people that have lived on Parsh, the natural inhabitants, if you will, this is their original mode of transportation. This is something that's ingrained in these beasts. They've been domesticized over generations before the Empire got. Like the Empire actually felt like keeping them. That's how effective they are at doing this. Well, also they don't care because it's just the employees. But it's not like a huge distance between the two like massive floating inverted mountains. So, a small open air transport shuttle, that's skiff, if you will, little more than like a hoverboard. They can transport.
So you're saying Nuv isn't going to necessarily have to be flying the U-wing with troops?
Correct. And in fact, like you can't even get everybody in there anyways. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, you could
we only can get what is it, 8 or 10?
Yeah, yeah. And Spec Ops is good at stealing stuff. So if it's something they steal, you want them to try to steal something, and then we see how it goes from there, or what.
Oh, I do like stealing.
Yep.
All right. So back on track. How we were dividing up our troops.
Right. So you've got 3 contingents, 3 cells in effect. You've got the Spec Ops team, the mercenary Shady Town squadron folk, and then you've got the rebels that were natural here in the space. They are the ones that are flying most of the vehicles here.
Speaking of vehicles, how many vehicles do we have that are us?
Well, you'll have like a full squadron of 16 that you can use.
So there's 16,
including
fighters.
The U-wing.
Including the U-wing, okay, and the Y-wing, of course, I assume.
Yes, yeah. There's a few Y-wings. Yep.
Okay, there's a handful of those. There might be some headhunters in the mix. I'm not sure what are.
It's mostly like X-wings, modified stuff like that.
You said modified X-wings because things had to be modified for the most part. Fly around here.
It helps, yeah. They're designed to move here more than anything.
Help with the magnetic field issues. All right.
What I'm thinking is to make the most of each person's skill set. I think going to the tilt, Brendan as pilot, and then Joshu as the gunner, because he has the highest rank in that ability, since it's mostly going to be an aerial fight and explosion, boom, boom, bang, bang stuff.
Yes, let's make assumptions. Yes.
Assumptions, yes.
Yes.
Nothing has ever gone wrong assuming things.
If anyone needs to get on the ground, that's actually where the commando would be pretty effective.
Mhm. Yes, true. But I'm thinking in terms of Soli and Salcaldia, my hacking skills wouldn't really be used up in that kind of air fight.
No, not in the air fight.
Yeah, and
Perhaps in doing some damage to the tilt, but
I think there's arguments to be made there. I think that might be.
I think your face is an argument to be made.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's not. It's an ongoing argument. It's a living document, kind of like the Constitution of the United States.
Well, that was my 2 cents. Split it up that way. Unless you guys don't want to split up at all and you want to all stay together.
No, I agree with your assessment there, Eileen. I like that plan.
Girl power.
Well,
Woo!
yeah, and Spelkudia is comfortable with underground situations.
Do you have a carrot? I'm so sorry. Susan
That was
just
just-
waved a carrot at the camera.
I've got an axe.
Does everyone have props? Because this is amazing.
I had a knife, but I didn't.
I'll have to go. I would have to go
Have a
get it. So
duel.
let's hold off on the prop until maybe the very end.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
So, all right. So I'm all right. I think that's a fine suggestion that I will partner up with Nuv, and then the infiltrator and the slicer will go to the mines.
So you're going to send Lieutenant Talek and the Spec Ops team with Salcaldia and Soli to the mine, while Pal and
Yes.
Nullus fly with the rebel cell here at the base. And then where are we sending those mercenary?
I was going to suggest that they go to the mines as well,
Okay.
because they may have contacts. They may have with the conscripts, with the workers. There might be a connection there because they're all from the same sort of shady town adjacent neighborhoods.
Love it. Okie
We,
dokie.
on the other hand, probably need to take the majority of the air support in order to secure the airspace to do some damage to the tilt.
All right. So Salcaldia, Soli, Talek, and Tenga's groups will be going to the mines, and Nullus and Pow will take the smaller 1/3 of the force, but all of the aerial assault vehicles, and try to take out the tilt.
Awesome.
How happy are you with that plan, Ross?
I'm pretty happy with that plan, everybody.
Because I don't like when you're happy.
Just never mind him, Eileen.
No,
Huh.
I think this is.
He's only the GM.
Well,
I think this is going to work out well.
Before we do this,
Ah.
are we sure we want?
Flag on the play.
Are we sure we want the entire Air Force to be going to the tilt?
No, we need to have some sort of contingent to be ready to
Yeah.
supply air cover in the emergency of like air superiority rolling in on the mines. We
Okay.
need to at least have someone be able to jump in there and run interference, or they could come in as a backup for any assessment if we start getting harassed on our damaging runs and we need desperate help. What I'm getting at is that we should use a small portion of our air force to wait and see attitude. Keep a holding position and be ready to dive in whichever way it is. It's like having an extra blocker behind the first one, ready to run to the left or the right, to use the analogy of your uniform.
So how many do you want to hold in reserve? Like 6 X-wings and 2 Y-wings?
So how many X-wings and how many Y-wings are there?
Uh-oh. Ross has to do some
Yep.
math
Now you have to do some.
Math now. Hold on one second while I'm doing some math. There are 12 X-wings, 3 Y-wings, and a U-wing.
Okay.
That equals, yes. Ha! I have a college degree.
So
Right.
what we could
My
do
counting skills.
is we could take 8 of the X-wings, the Y-wings, and the U-wing to the
Mhm.
tilt, and leave 4 of the X-wings to fly cover in 2 groups of 2 as cover for the operation over the mine.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Agreed.
Everybody likes that plan. So how many are going to the mine? How many are we holding back?
It was 8. It was 8. Right. Go ahead and finish, Brennan.
Yeah. So it's 8 X-wings, in the Y-wings and the U-wing are all going to the tilt.
Oh, okay. So we're just saving four little X-wings to help out everybody.
Yeah. So they're going to fly in 2 groups of 2.
Okay.
They're faster. They're able to cover. They can go from one spot to the other. They can run. There's also aerial reconnaissance.
And that guy actually let's just have them go over to the mine to start out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, aren't people coming to the base we're at, so we might as well vacate anyway.
Right. Well, the ground forces that are going to be taking the mine need to certainly go first, just because this is a timed thing. So you guys need to get this right. So if an alarm sounds before the tilt is taken out and they start moving that, there is no contingency plan for that. If you mess this timing up, everyone dies. Well, except for you guys, maybe. But certainly all the nice citizens on Atreyu City, they will. It'll be unfortunate. So okay. Are we ready then? Everyone feel confident with the plan that we had decided upon in between episodes?
Just wanted to check on the soak thing. So I grabbed some buckets for us to wear on our heads. Does that give everyone a rank in soak for one of those, or?
Yeah, I think everyone could get 1 or 2 additional soak for the armor that they have been able to add to their person.
Because I've already got like my armor. I don't think I can't stack a flak jacket on it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so yeah.
Such as Soli and Selkuldia. I think Selkuldia had armor though, didn't she?
It was mostly just for a fashion statement.
So you get a flak jacket.
I didn't have enough money for.
You get a flak jacket, and that'll give you another rank in soak. Just trying to hedge the bets towards safety. Same thing, I think, for Nuv. I think Nuv needed another.
Yeah, I just had heavy clothing.
Yeah, so you can go to flak jacket. You put a helmet on, and that'll give you another.
Well, you are surrounded by a U-wing. That's a.
This is just Pal doing his big brother things, like everyone's saying.
Absolutely.
You got all your stuff on. You got enough ammo to go outside. You got your mittens.
And let's go ahead and get Pal an additional point of duty, and Nullis get 3 points of duty for planning out that wonderful air superiority assault plan.
All right, cool.
And then why don't you roll duty for us, and we'll see what happens.
We'll miss it yet again.
Yeah, we totally will.
We'll get it.
Where are we up to total now?
What's that, 52?
It would be 40 plus another.
Well, no, because we got some last time.
You said I get one. Ross, you said 1 point of duty,
1 point
right?
of duty.
1 duty point.
So, okay. 12.
Oh!
All right.
Dude, what
We triggered it. That'll be
Hello.
Selkuldia then. Your duty has been triggered. Yay!
Why? Because I'm 12?
Yeah. Because
sweet.
I'm going in the order that you are on my screen. So you were you're hit the 12th. So you get an extra wound for this whole episode. Hooray!
She gets 2.
2 extra wounds. I lied.
And the rest of us get 1, I believe.
I like that you can you do a lot of referee hand signs when you correct? Because
Throw the
you're
flag.
like rules lawyer, and I love it so much. And I just want big hand motions a lot every time I mess something up.
Yes.
I love it.
We had an illegal count.
That's right. Yes, yes. Oh, Halloween is such a magical time.
He's penalized 2 setback dice for all of his rolls against the party.
So hooray. Excellent. Well, let's get started then. I think as the timing is super crucial on that, I think we need to start with Selkuldia and Soli and Lieutenant Talek and what your plans are exactly. So you find yourself on the edge of Atreyu City. It'd be the northern edge from the top down. You can see the inverted mountain, that floating rock that is the mine. you could probably throw something practically and get it there, especially if it was metallic enough that it could use some of the magnetism to help it along the way. But it is, I mean, it's very close. Like, you can see activity on it. You could see the like built up plastisteel like operation that's there. Like, there's no beauty to this at all. It is all just raw efficiency, just industrial efficiency. These big animals kind of flying overhead back and forth occasionally. You can see the nests for the beast if you look down the cliff. They're massive and gorgeous, and it's really cool. The camp barracks area are across from you, well guarded, everything like that. You've found yourselves a bit of natural vegetation that you've managed to hide everyone in, but it's tough. There's a lot of you here now. So how are you planning on approaching this? There is, an Imperial encampment on this side. There are the beasts. I mean, they're not far from where you are. There's a few different options for how you want to cross here, but you have a lot of people with you.
There are a few options.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think there's multiple options that you could possibly take. And Lieutenant Talek, he's in just full suit of almost metal armor. Everything's very reflective and menacing. And he's got this massive helmet that covers the entirety of his face and a big, long blaster rifle. So what are you thinking? What's the play here?
I think I want to take one of those big birds up there.
Yeah, you have any experience with them?
No, but I have experience with other animals on my home planet. A lot more trusting than the machines you guys use here.
All right, so the plan is we're going to try to hijack a bird.
Yeah. How many people can fit on one, you think?
Looks like they're taking at least 50 of the slaves over at a time.
Big.
I
I
think
think
that
we
would
could
be-
probably get everybody on.
We'd probably be less noticed going in that way.
I don't see how we sneak 50 people on a bird without getting noticed.
What if we just do a handful of people on the bird and then you guys come in with the machines after we infiltrate the initial barrier?
Okay. So you want my force to stay behind, you take the mercenaries over.
Yeah.
Once you're safely across, we know the tilt's down, we can assault here. And then get over. Secure an exit. That's a good plan, I like that. He kind of squats back down in the grass and makes a bunch of hand gestures. His group kind of slides around. Everyone is eerily quiet. Like, you see all this vegetation just being shifted left, but none of it's making a sound as this dozen or so figures get in this crouch position around Talek.
Hey, Sully, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I think your plan is great. Should get it off the ground ASAP.
Before we do this thing, I need you to be completely honest. Why did you release that prisoner?
Is anybody else listening?
Well, I mean, you're crowded and hiding in a small piece of vegetated land with about 50 people.
And no one is talking but you two.
Yeah, and Tanga's right next to you. I mean, he's doing that thing where he's trying not to listen to you, but it's probably pretty hard to not hear you.
I can tell you, Svelkaldia, but not here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best time for that kind of thing.
Shut up, Tanga. It's girl talk.
All right.
Quiet, women are talking.
Svelkaldia, it's important to me that it's important that I let that guy go. And it's important to me that the Imperials saw the video of him leaving his cell. That's all I can tell you right now in front of this crowd of people.
Okay. But you got to give me the whole story sooner or later.
Yeah, as soon as we're alone. As soon as we're alone.
Imperial plan.
Well, hopefully we all make it, or else y'all ain't gonna be having any kind of conversation. Why don't we talk about how we're gonna be hijacking this here bird?
Got any lassos, cowboy?
I'm sorry, what?
I do. I have climbing equipment.
I'm not gonna go tie up a bird. Do you see how big that thing is?
Are you
That's
scared?
like the size of a shuttle. I'm not scared. Well, yeah. Hell yeah, I am. We're way up in the air.
Salcolia, if I lasso one of them with my climbing rope, will you be able to talk to it
I
and tell it where to go?
don't think I speak crazy bird.
I don't think it speaks. It's like a shuttle. It's alive, right?
Well, let me go see if I can convince the bird to trust me.
Ooh, okay. So the way this is organized, the main street of Atreyu City kind of terminates at the edge of the cliff here, although there's obviously some barriers to prevent anything from happening. And across that pathway is the Imperial outpost station. It's just basically used for getting people lined up and getting them boarded. And then behind that are these massive caged areas, there's big pens basically for basically where they're storing them ready for onboarding. But then down the cliff face is where they kind of live. So there's big nests built out of the side. So as they're ready for transport, they're kind of held in a specific area, but they're also free roaming down on the cliff too. There is a big container that is strapped to them when they transport these. So as they bring them up, they put them in these little enclosure areas so they could strap the big giant box on them that they stuff everyone in and then fly them to the mine. And of course there's a registration process as they're coming in and out, yada, yada, yada. It's all very official and on the up and
Annual
up.
inspections. And...
Right, absolutely. So you've got a couple of options here, and how do you want to proceed? You could try to grab maybe one of the ones that's just kind of chilling down the cliff and maybe get something to it, or maybe just everybody holds on. I don't know.
I don't want to just grab it. I don't want to startle it.
Okay.
I want to try to get its trust.
Okay. So I'm picturing Salcoldia leaning her head over the edge of this cliff, and it's just a massive distance down to the ground, and you see these big leathery feathered winged creatures nesting in big that metallic almost cactus-like structure that's built out of that. It doesn't look very comfortable, but they seem to enjoy it.
Okay. Is there one that I can crawl down to? Or is it way too
Yeah,
far?
there's definitely one you can crawl down to. Now this is so I love to say that Star Wars, it's very difficult to die unless you fall from a great height. Then it's really easy. So are you climbing down this cliff to try to forge a relationship with one of these animals so you can use it as transport? All right.
Whoa. Salcolia, wait, I have a rope here.
Oh, good. So you'll have some backup. Okay. All right. So
Yes.
I think this will be a group check then. Let's see.
Definitely.
What is this? This is athletics, right? I think this is athletics. Athletics or coordination? Your decision.
I
What do you
have one rank in coordination, but since it's my career, I have 2 green die.
Okay.
Are those the advantage die? I don't know, but I'll do coordination.
Susan, do you have coordination?
Yeah, I have 1 rank in it.
Okay, and that is based on your agility, right?
Agility.
So who's got the
Right.
higher agility?
I got 3.
And I have 2.
Okay, so we'll get a boost die at least for that. Your difficulty, I mean, this is like a sheer cliff face. It's not an easy climb. You've got a rope as oh no, but stuff can happen. So that's going to be a 3
really sharp
difficulty.
claws.
Yeah, 3 difficulty. It's also pretty windy, unfortunately. So I think that's going to be a setback die.
Of course.
Also, I got to spend a dark side point for this.
No, what? What?
It's not rock. It's weird metallic packed soil, so it crumbles out from under your hands pretty easily, very unexpectedly. You expect it to be packed a lot firmer around the edges, like almost just like raw rock. It's really not. It's more like a metallic soil still. The magnetism is just kind of holding it in place. So when you forcefully move it, it's very difficult to hold on, unfortunately. So I am going to have to upgrade one of those.
No, you don't have to.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. I already clicked the buttons and everything.
You don't have to. You
So
want to.
Let's roll it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Come on, Halloween magic. Come on, Halloween magic.
Okay, Mr.
Come on,
J.
Eileen.
In your face!
Are you done celebrating so I can tell you didn't succeed?
But it's a triumph.
You got a triumph, but you didn't succeed.
But I thought a triumph counts as a success.
It does, but you still got them
does, but
canceled out.
It got canceled out
By what?
by the failures.
Yep.
But I have a triumph.
You have 2 successes and 2 failures, Eileen.
Oh.
So, hey, great news. You just fell off of a cliff. You're going to die.
No, because it's a triumph.
But you have a triumph and an advantage.
Yeah.
So,
Barry catches me.
Yes, exactly what I think should happen.
So you are falling. Your grip has slipped. You were not expecting that. The soil just came loose. You immediately fell backwards off the cliff face. The screech of one of these birds as you're falling. You could see the rope like as you go. And you've got a triumph and an advantage though.
So I'm gonna have one of those birds come save me.
Okay.
He's gonna fly out.
He's like, oh, not on my watch. I'm not letting this little
He
cute
sees
thing die.
another furry creature falling, thinks it may be a baby bird.
Oh my gosh, you do kind of look like them when they're babies.
Yeah.
So for your triumph, the maternal instinct of one of these creatures kicks in.
Or paternal.
Or paternal. Valid.
Yes.
Either way, they're like, uh-oh.
Perennial instinct of this massive, leathery, feathered bird kicks in. It sees you falling. Doesn't understand rope and all that sort of thing, but it knows it's a baby falling out of a cliffside nest, and there's only one thing to do as it opens its maw wide, and you slide into what is kind of icky, but you don't care at the moment because you've stopped falling, and it's really like kind of soft and squishy, so you almost sort of like rubber band down in the creature's gullet. It's just got a lot of leathery skin there for holding massive
It treats
creatures.
its babies like crocodiles treat their babies.
Yeah, so you are now in the mouth of one of these creatures. It's got a weird like triangle-shaped tongue. It doesn't have teeth or anything like that, but the tongue's got a lot of like grooves and like almost like claw-like jagged spiky like things on it. So
Something used in feeding, probably.
probably. But you're holding on to it, and it caught you. And it didn't even have to leave the nest. It just sort of extended its full form
Oh my
out.
gosh, Salcolia.
It just
So-
reaches out and snatches her like, "Woo."
Sully,
It's all
what are
good,
you
it's all good.
doing?
I planned this.
Wait, you have an advantage. So what is your advantage before we go on?
Oh my gosh.
My advantage
Woo.
is going to be the bird trusts me, the bird likes me, the bird.
Okay. So
Well,
the bird, for the advantage, the bird does not understand you aren't a young of its kind right now.
Yes.
All right. So it blocks you right back out into the nest. There's 2 other clearly don't really look much like you, and their eyes aren't open yet or anything like that. They're sort of the same color-ish, and you've got, like, they're definitely fuzzier than the leathery form. You know, I'm assuming they lose that down or, you know, whatever.
But they're definitely like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, massive things still, yeah.
So I'm a slightly shorter bird. Huh?
Yeah, you look like a little one that maybe got kicked out because you weren't doing good, but there's room here, so, you know, Mom was like, okay. Solely up on the edge of the cliff, you and Tang are looking over as Solcolia gets eaten by a giant bird.
And then regurgitated to the young to be fed upon, I guess.
Holy druck, she is in really a lot of trouble here. Okay, so Sully's going to turn on her comm and
Okay.
calm Salcolia and say, Salcolia, are you okay?
Yeah, covered in slobber again. Why does this keep happening to me? But anywho, I think this bird trusts me. I think it thinks I'm one of its kind. So I'm just feeding it some of the candy the nurse gave us back at the med unit. So it's kind of winning over. I'm thinking I can treat it like a reward system to get this bird back up on the ledge with the candy. So just hold tight. Everything is going according to plan.
Yeah, they are.
That's-
These are
That's
domesticated
great,
creatures.
Salcolia.
Probably.
Excellent. So I think a whole bunch of like X-wings and Y-wings spit out of the side of an inverted mountain that Atreyu City rests upon. We wipe to the U-wing leading the charge as you're kind of corkscrewing down around and then planning on making your way back up. I'm assuming you're going to lead the squadron in an assault pass, Nellis?
Yeah, so let's lead the Y-wings and the U-wing will go and attack. The X-wings is just going to be providing cover, at least for now.
Oh, good. So one of the things you notice right away as soon as you exit with the force you have is alarms start going off. You are almost instantly detected. But you
Right, so-
sort of knew that was coming.
Right.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Does Pal have any ranks in gunnery?
I'm checking.
I thought it wasn't actually gunnery because this is a
It was range
mounted
heavy and range
heavy.
light. I think
Okay.
it was either. You tell me. I don't think it was gunnery.
Yeah, I think it was
Ranged
heavy. Ranged heavy
I've got
was
one,
this
and
one.
I've got one rank in that.
Okay. Because there's actually two different weapon platforms on the U-wing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So were you trying to use that repeating blaster on the Y-wing? I mean, on the U-wing to hit this thing?
That's going to be part of it. And it's Pal is all about strapping himself into the door with a 4-point harness and manning that gun.
Okay.
Well, you've got other, forces if you wanted to have, you've got lots of friends here. You've got
So yeah, I mean the U-wings have some sort of bombs on them, right?
oh, do they now?
I mean, the one we stole had some bombs on it.
Well,
so at least,
the Y-wing did.
The
Sorry.
Y-wing did.
yeah.
Yes, the
Sorry,
Y-wings do have
The
some sort of
Y-wings are
bombs on them.
bombers by design, mostly.
Yeah, so I think that the Y-wing should go in first, try to drop off like this, use their bombs as the initial strike. We can come in, try to not so much I guess strafe is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
Go in. Pal uses the blaster to follow up on the attack, try to do some additional damage after the Y-wings are gone.
All
And
right.
depending on what's going on, the X-wings are probably going to be busy keeping the counter force off of us.
Which is
Yes.
scrambling as you are going over this plan via communicator. Little dark dots start appearing in the sky as
Yep,
forces of TIE fighters are pouring out of a hangar on Atreyu City. Screeching through the air, corkscrewing themselves around, trying to engage your force.
Get some. So is it initiative time? What do we get to do?
Well, I think so. Your plan was you were going to send the Y-wings in as a pass first,
Yeah.
as a bomb
Yep.
pass.
Well, figure just get them to use their bombs as much as possible early on.
Okay.
Just because the counter to this plan of ours would be to engage the X-wings as much as possible and then have the remaining ships, if any, take out the bombers. So you should probably have the bombers use up as much of their heavy ammo as possible at the beginning.
Yeah, before they get blown up, and we'll have the X-wings attempt to intercept and engage anything else coming after them.
All right.
Protecting them is the job. And I'm just Mr. Target of Opportunities, please, back here. Strapped to the gun in the open window. It's not exciting at all.
All right. And I guess you've got Otis riding with you as well, so he can use that secondary gunnery slot for you, Nellis. He's got an
sure.
X-wing too,
Oh,
but you can
so
pull in
he's-
somebody else.
Oh, so is he in the front with me, or is he on the?
No, he could be
Yeah.
in the, like you. Yeah, you could bring him in on the front with you.
Okay, because this also forward-mounted
Yeah, I knew you
Yeah.
liked that.
twin blah things. So we
tilts
could
his, like-
probably,
Go
so
ahead.
I could probably come in behind the Y wings,
Okay.
fire off a round of that, and then peel off and allow Pal to strafe with the blaster.
All
Bring it
right. I want to do something weird, Nellis. Do you have
Okay.
leadership?
Do I have leadership? Technically, yes, but I don't think a whole lot. Yeah, 2 whole green dice.
Yeah, me too. I don't have any ranks in it.
All right. I want a leadership check for the Y-wings. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. Can Otis help me out with that?
Absolutely. You got a boost die from Pal and a boost die from Otis.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a setback die because you're trying to inspire people you barely know. Over communicator.
What's our destiny pool look like right now?
You have 4 points.
I think you should upgrade, Brendan.
Okay. That makes sense.
Go for it. I'd like to see a nice success from this roll. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing it all the time.
All right. I've added an upgrade now as well.
All right, so I used the destiny,
Got your upgrade.
and then I'm gonna hit the leadership.
I see the 2 fails now that you talk. Oh,
Oh!
Oh, I
my!
blanked.
All.
So
Every single one you blanked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 2 blue dice, a green dice, a yellow dice, all
All came up.
come up blanks. So the failure and the 3 threat.
So you get so it's easy to get locked into this flight pattern. You're
it's easy
you're
to see
flying
road man
circles
cry.
around an inverted mountain trying to hit a pretty small target. Your vision tunnels. You stop thinking about above you. And they sent out a decent amount of TIE fighters, but that's not everything they had. And 4 of them drop over the edge of the cliff, almost straight down. The Y-wing never sees it coming. I light it up, it explodes. The other 2 have to veer off. And there's still 3 threat left as the wreckage starts peppering the field. And the problem is the magnetization's kicking in now too. So it's not falling necessarily, it's becoming debris. It's cluttering your view, your access, your ability to shoot, your ability to do everything.
That's exciting.
So you're going to get a setback die on the next 3 actions your squadron takes. And it's the debris from the Y-wing.
Ah. Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
what are you doing in that U-wing, Nellis, pal?
I am looking for targets of opportunity. I am going to try to say we've got ambush.
Yeah, in effect, yeah.
Plan. Y-wing, stick to the plan. Keep running in there and drop the bombs on the tilt.
They're going to have to take another pass. I'm sorry, let me do that again. We're going to have to take another pass.
X-wings fly in and cover them. And I'm looking for targets of opportunity to blast in my frustration. Because I'm probably going to be firing the gun anyway.
Copy, we're scattering.
Yeah, so
Can I roll initiative? Can I make a...
I don't think we need to roll initiative just yet. The
I really
X-wing
want to
start...
shoot one of these guys.
Oh, and I'm going to let you. I'm just not going to make you roll initiative to do it. Boom. The X-Wings
Alright.
start fanning out, making like almost a wide net, and they're trying to pick off individual X-Wings. All of this is sort of erupting around you as blaster fire starts sailing everywhere, and just bits of Y-Wing in front of you, the first casualty of this battle already.
John Williams Orchestra in full effect here.
Yep,
It's going
the
on.
swell. Nullis,
Oh,
pal,
it's the strings are going nuts.
how about you take an action while you're making this pass? You could see the tilt. It's hard to see the vehicle, the engines that are mounted there, but you can make it out through the debris as you're doing a pass.
Yeah, so I think I want to keep heading towards it.
Okay.
Can we have Otis fire the forward gun?
Absolutely. So you are going to try to pilot your way through debris directly at this thing fighting against the natural magnetization of this planet. I'm going to need a piloting check to get this lined up.
Okay.
And there is obviously a 1 setback die on this because of the threat and the debris.
Okay. I'm a skilled jockey, so
All right.
see, you remove a setback.
Setback
dice.
die has been removed.
Okay,
Difficulty
so I'm
2.
doing a piloting planetary check.
Yes.
Okay. Boom.
Ah!
Okay.
All right, Brandon.
So I found
What? Why? What?
Happy
Because
Halloween.
that under pressure, baby. Look at the
I think I'm
let's.
gonna
That's,
cry.
so get over
th-
it. You got a threat in there.
Yeah, I have a threat.
You can work with.
I have a
Yeah,
threat. I hate you all.
Check
5
or
successes and a
triumph.
triumph, and you got a
Okay.
threat.
So-
Oh my!
so-
no.
So what happened was I have 2 yellow dice and 2 green dice. 1 green dice and 1 yellow dice rolled up 2 success each. And a yellow dice rolled up a triumph, but that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triumphs. The 2 purple dice rolled out, 5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
2
but
purple dice cancel out one of the advantages, leaving us with 1 threat. And then the remaining yellow dice gives us a triumph.
So
Okay.
5 successes and a triumph and a threat.
Yes.
It's perfect. Your approach vector. It's perfect. Everything's lined up. It's dead on. I mean, you've got it. He's got the shot for sure. You've given it to him. The threat is there's no way to avoid catching some of that debris.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, because I'm assuming, is the side open yet, pal?
Oh yeah, it's
Yes.
open.
So one of it kind of got inside and is now ricocheting around inside the U-wing.
Ooh, I love it.
Well, and you're going to take a strain for me, pal.
Ooh, I love it.
And
So
then you
you
have a triumph. So what?
Okay, so all the successes gives Otis, basically allows me to line up the ship so that Otis can fire the linked weapon up front,
Yep.
right? Triumph can be that I also managed to, after he fires those weapons, I slide the ship over 90 degrees, allowing Pal to follow up onto the.
So you're going to do like a hardcore power slide into this?
No, well, it's like I'm still gonna move forward,
Right.
but I turn 90 degrees, so it gives Pal that.
Okay, so you're
Going
going to use
to
the
roll.
triumph
Not
to
turning,
make.
he's rolling, right? Am I right, Brendan? You're rolling
he's-
the ship.
It's turning the ship, so we're gonna fire off from the front,
Yes.
turn around, then you
And
fire
then-
out from the waist gun.
You're
Okay.
using a triumph to roughly sort of drift your U-wing after Otis's shot, so you can get a side volley from Pal immediately following.
Yep.
That is exceptional. All right. Do you have gunnery, Nullis?
I do.
What's your gunnery?
It is 1 yellow and 3 green.
Wonderful. That is exactly what Otis's is. Look at that. Now, Otis is going to get a setback die on this roll because of the debris. But do you want to just roll it for us since you have the exact same?
Okay, so I'll just roll my gunnery and.
Yep. Let's see how Otis does.
Where is? Oh, it's down here.
There it is.
Boom. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, so the luck didn't hold up. He's firing off the links, but it's catching debris, it's deflecting, it's peppering all around it. I mean, it's hitting it a little bit. It's just it's not punching through the way you're expecting it to.
Yeah.
But the maneuver is beautiful and elegant as you pushed into that 90-degree skid and start moving in a complete axis pivot direction, leaving the side of the U-wing an open shot at the tilt mechanism. Now there is still an advantage. What would you like that to be?
We managed to basically blast enough of the debris out of the way that either the setback gets removed.
Cancels the setback die. I love it. Perfect. Pal, your shot is even clearer. It's slow-mo. It's that wonderful moment where, like, this is exactly what they must have felt like when they rescued us in Shady Town. You're just coming in. It's perfect. It's just you and the target.
I'm gonna use my maneuver to take aim and then fire.
Okay. All right. Do it.
That gives me
Oh,
a
let me
boost.
pull that setback die off since we've just eliminated that.
Okay.
And he also gets a boost dice for the aim, right?
Oh, you're right. I will add that boost die. Give it a roll, pal.
Ranged heavy, correct?
Yes, sir. Ooh, all right.
Success and a setback.
All right. That's good, though. That's one.
All you need is a success.
So you punch it just repeatedly, even as the Aegis 2 is moving in a very fast speed away. You manage to keep your fire concentrated on one of the primary engine propulsions.
Compensate for our own motion and roll enough to keep hitting it with several blasts.
Yes, yeah, and like you're even inverted at times as you're doing this, so your 4-point harness is just kicking butt for you right now.
Oh yeah, I've got my boot up on the side of the door and over here on what normally is the floor.
And you have completely destroyed one of the primary propulsion mechanisms for the tilt.
No, brilliant. Good deal.
It's
Moving right
smoldering, the smoke is drifting up into the sky.
How many of these hard targets did we have again? Didn't you say it was 3?
Yeah, there's 3 primary propulsion mechanisms. That's one
down. 2 to, so that's, yeah, so.
Good job, guys.
Yeehaw, 1 down, 2 to go.
It is bittersweet as an X-wing explodes in your peripheral vision.
Nah, we'll deal with that later.
All right. Well, actually, let's roll some initiative. Let's battle is squarely on now.
Correct? Can I use cool? May I use cool?
Yes, yeah, we were all well aware of this happening.
We're aware of the ambush by now?
Well, you're expecting combat, so that was more of a slick maneuver than an ambush, really.
Those 3 purple dice.
Oh, sorry. My fault.
Sorry,
My fault.
So we just ignore that.
We can just
you can
ignore
just
it
ignore
and
that.
take it I got a success and I got 2
Yep.
advantage, okay? I'll make note of that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you will go, then I will go, then you will go. Excellent. So when we come back to this cliffside dogfight, you will have the first action. But across the inverted mountain of Atreyu City, Sokoldia, you're in a bird's nest, and solely you're looking over a cliff with a fella with a big old hat on, and he's chuckling to himself.
I want to say my positive reinforcement training with this bird has been effective, and it's allowed me to then crawl up on its back so I can fly to the top.
You have managed to bond with this creature enough that you can crawl on its back. It's got like a pretty long neck, but like where the meat of it is I'm assuming what you're calling its back. You
Is
can't
it like the tube thing?
It's huge. Like you can't get your like arm around its neck or anything. Like you're just kind of holding tufts of feather really and hoping it doesn't come out.
Well, where's the saddle?
There isn't one.
Wasn't there like I thought there was like a giant containment unit.
Oh yeah, you have to go back up to the cliffs where they put it on it.
Yeah,
Oh, so
they
it's
don't
not
walk
on it, like,
around with them
that-
on all the time.
No, that would be cruel.
Okay.
Well,
And-
more cruel than
More inefficient than cruel.
just an extra dash of cruel. Realistically, I mean, we're talking about
Okay,
basically a slave
yeah.
mind. So
I'm hanging on to the little like barb, hoping that it doesn't bleed.
all right. So and now you want it to do what?
Go up on the top where everybody is, so we can strap on a little tube container.
So you want it to
Travel.
go to work. All right.
Yep.
That makes the most sense, that you'd be able to go into like, we're doing the thing. Come on, let's do the thing we make you do every day.
I'm just picturing like horse riding.
Yeah, they're like, well, let's go this way because we always go this way. Let's go this way.
Is this charm? I feel like this is charm.
It's something.
Could be. It's whatever you have a rank in. Figure yourself something you have a rank in and then roll that.
Does he have a computers? Does he have a computer on his back?
No.
I do not
believe
have a
so.
rank in charm, but I can do it anyway.
All right, you do have
I have
3 light side
perception.
points. Well, perception is great to have in almost
Perception.
every other scenario, but this one.
Yeah, this is not. I feel that would be one. You know,
So you've got the
Even
paternal.
survival.
The
Can
paternal
I do a light
instinct.
side point?
Oh, absolutely. Can
Yeah.
Why don't you spend one of those?
Are you guys okay if I spend a light side to get?
I
am.
encourage you to spend a light
Yes,
side.
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, then.
So I've got your
let's-
upgrade. Just make sure you click that spend a light side point for me. And I've got your upgrade already in the pool. Now, because this is like a mama bird scenario or papa bird scenario, a paternal instinct is kicked in this animal, I'm going to give you a boost die. Now, you have no experience with these things whatsoever. So I'm going to give you a setback die for that. But you're
Is there
trying
any
to...
way? Oh wait, it
think
wasn't
this-
showing up on my thing, so I may have used too many light side points.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
used 2 light side points.
I'll
Oh,
give you
sorry.
one back for freebies. I won't even upgrade anything.
Because I was waiting for the one to show up and it never did. So I just
Oh,
kept
no,
Your
yeah,
fingers
I've
out
got it
and
all on
cookie
mine. You're
jar.
just going to need
Give all
to...
of our light side points away.
You'll just need to click on your skill.
This might be
So-
a xenology roll. Now, looking at the list of basic skills.
Oh, yeah, it could be a
And that-
xenology. Do you
but
have that?
That's
That's a really
based,
good,
Do not have
good
xenology.
point.
but it is based on intelligence, and I'm pretty sure that she has a high rank. In
Yeah,
intelligence.
so
two.
well,
Or maybe an above a adequately average.
yeah,
rank
I
in
will
it.
let you roll xenology or charm for this. We've got 1 boost die because of the instincts of the creature taking over. 1 setback die because you've never tried to do this before. I think the difficulty is only 2, as this is this thing's job.
And charm is
Okay.
presence. Do you have a 3 presence by any chance?
Xenology, I have more dice than charm.
So let's roll
Okay.
xenology and see
So
what
yeah, I was
happens.
gonna go with xenology.
And you've got 1 upgraded for the light side point you spent.
Okay, does that automatically happen?
I've got it. Yep.
Okay. Okay. You guys ready for this?
Come on.
Yes, give me some wins. Hit that. Do it.
Ready, go
That's what
for
this
it.
game's about. Rolling dice.
Oh, it's a
You
success.
did it. You
One
did it.
success and 3 advantages.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
All of your threat dice, all of the difficulty dice and stuff were all blank.
It's super jarring because on the cliffside, the bird has to sort of stand up all the way to like extend its wings to the full reach of its form, and then it kind of just like falls forward and starts flying. So that moment where it stands up, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's throwing me off this cliff now. So there's a lot of panic right there. But the creature starts flying and it's heading up, and it's definitely heading towards that, caged area contraption wherever they load these things with the boxes that they use to transport people. What are your advantages? You have 3 of them.
Ah, my advantages. I guess one is I don't fall off.
Okay.
That's a given. I mean, you had a success. I would maybe putting towards it doing most of the work itself. 'Cause it's so used to the job.
Well, so
It's just like,
what's your intention with this thing now? Now, are you planning on getting... Because I thought you weren't going to put one of the things on and you were just going to bring a few people over with it.
yeah, that's true.
I thought they usually transport with the thing on.
They do, but they don't have to. It's not that far. You're doing okay.
But will everybody else be safe if they don't have the containment unit thing?
I mean, you're in the middle of a battle. I mean, there's a good chance a lot of people are going to die today.
Let's put the containment unit on.
Okay, now that
I don't want to kill them before we get over.
that might draw the suspicion of the Imperial forces that are working
never mind.
there. So
That I did not know that.
Right.
Okay. I thought it was normal for them to have the unit on it, so we'll just
Well,
all hold on.
It
For
is, but it's not normal for you to like bring an unscheduled.
yeah, it's not
is what he's
scheduled yet.
saying. Like there's people up there who are maintaining this operation.
They still have like
Okay.
12 hours in their 16-hour shift left.
Yeah, and they could be like, "Hey, where's your paperwork?"
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
then
I
you
guess
spike them.
my advantage is that the bird isn't acting abnormally because he thinks this is just his job, so he's playing along, I guess.
So you're spending your 3 advantages because the reason they keep these little pockets of foliage near these cliff sides is so they have a food resource readily available. So the giant bird would then kind of just look like it's doing its normal
Like
thing
it's eating
in
if
that
it goes and picks
foliaged
up more of the
area
commandos,
where you are leading
And-
it.
and it won't raise any suspicion because it's just going over to the speeding ground.
I like that.
Yeah.
Feeding ground, rather than they're not aware that it's full of commandos who are going to crawl on.
Yeah.
I'm going to need all 3 advantages for that, though.
Okay.
Whatever
Okay.
works.
So this massive bird lands on the edge of the cliff and starts pecking at some of the big, thick tree foliage at the top, and it squats down a little bit. Maybe it's, got to do a thing, but you're there. You're in front of the mercenary forces. Tanga's pushing his hat up with one finger. I'll be.
Come on, folks, get on up.
All right.
Wait for me. Wait for me.
Hold on tight.
So about a dozen scruffy-looking nerf herders try to pile onto this bird and hold on to tufts of feather that everyone is hoping isn't going to be falling out as you are flying. They're positioning themselves as best they can on this creature's back and trying to hide behind wing and, bone nub whenever they can, but I mean, it's not going to be super easy to do. Maybe you can get the bird to fly kind of high so they can't see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fly casual.
I got enough
The old
candy.
Star Wars standby.
The spec op teams is positioned and ready to wait for your signal as you get the mercenary force on the back of this giant bird. Yay, right?
Yeah, we did it.
So let's
Huzzah.
find out how you get to that mine island in just a moment, because we cut all the way back. You can actually see it too when you're looking over the edge. Like occasionally now you're seeing TIE fighters flying in a circle around the inverted mountain. You could see the battle happening beneath you, which is weird because it's an aerial battle happening beneath you, but it all makes sense in
Like
this
distant
planet.
thunder.
Yeah, and there's bright flashes of light. The birds are a little frightened too, even. There's alarms happening all over Atreyu sitting.
I love it. Let's get at it. I get to go first? Do I get to blast one of these hated TIE fighters or a group of them? Or do I get to make another pass at our hardened target?
That's your call. So you definitely have fighters on you.
Well, we need to get, I'll probably be shooting at the fighters, and we want the remaining Y-Wings to get there with their payloads. That's what's
Okay, so you're going to try
I
to...
don't know if that blaster will do damage to the TIE fighters, though.
It'll be tough to punch through some of it.
Wasn't it scaled up? Isn't it like a 20 damage?
But that's 2 vehicle damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 vehicle damage. That's
Which, I mean,
enough.
it does
Kansas-
punch. It does punch. It's just, it's not going to take one out.
Look, they don't want to fly into it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's all I'm saying. Like, if I'm going to take whatever target of opportunity I can, this is also going to rely on mostly.
And
on
plus,
the
it's his roll too. Like, if he gets 2 triumphs, 5 successes, like he could actually probably drop one with it. It wouldn't be easy though.
But I'm not the only actor in this play.
You
here.
definitely are not.
There's going to be other things going on.
So who's going to
I'm-
go first then?
Well, we have out of the 2 players, we
Yeah.
have a slot, and then you guys and
Yep.
myself.
Yep.
I would say that Nuv as the pilot has the most chances to
Okay.
improve
I like that. Let's start with Nullus.
My stuff.
Okay.
You have to-
Nullus, what are you going to do with your turn? So you've got
So-
some maneuvers available and, some actions. So
Yeah, so we can either. How far away are we from the tilt at this point?
you are a
Sure.
narratively appropriate distance. In my head, it's going to take you a round to make a pass.
Okay, so I have to. Well, yeah, which makes sense because we would have to be pretty short range
Mhm.
to fire on that.
Yep.
So probably doing a 270, even if we can pull that off, would make us so that we would be screaming right towards this thing
Mhm.
after we fire.
Mhm.
So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Probably the best bet is to try to just see if there's one of the TIE fighters
Mhm.
and try to line up a maneuver towards it and then have Otis fire at the weapon.
So you want to maneuver in position to get behind a pair of the TIE fighters that are
or just
basically hunting the Y-Wings?
or just towards one of the TIE
Okay.
fighters.
All
Yeah,
right.
I-
So
Attacking
done.
anything harassing the Y-wings needs to be brought down.
Done. Your maneuver is successful. You are in position.
Okay, so then the action is Otis firing the weapon at them.
Okay. Do you want to just roll that for me then? Let me add the defense here. Hold on 1 second, because these things have amazing handling. But you're going to remove one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
The pool is all... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me get rid of all this. All right. Now the pool is ready.
Yeah, I'm just checking one thing.
So you're flying this like really fast, super repetitive circular motion, even though you're corkscrewing up and down a bit, dodging TIE fighters and hopefully not running into your own X-Wing. They occasionally kind of flower off the surface, but are always pulling back in towards the center of the circle everyone's flying in.
Yeah, okay. So let's fire that off.
Oh, devastation. All right.
So it's okay. So Otis fires. He hits with 4 success with 3 threat. So he doesn't trigger the crit or the link or anything like that. It's base 6 vehicle damage
Mm-hmm.
and add 4 to that.
Yep, which is more than enough as a TIE fighter explodes in a fiery ball. And a familiar occurrence, as the debris associated with that explosion does not adhere to standard gravity and fall to the ground. It instead hovers like a debris cloud field that you're passing through. So there will be 3 setback dice coming in the next things your squadron tries to do.
Is it for the whole squadron, or can it be just strain? Can we spend strain to get rid of them? Is what I want to ask.
No, it's a setback die because of the debris cloud, unfortunately. It's the
Okay.
nature of this planet.
Okay,
Plus, it's kind of cool.
Is that
Oh,
why
it's
you were
cool.
smiling?
It's cool.
but I
That stuff blows up, it
Ways
just
to
kind of
get rid of
floats
it.
there. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Well,
Like, how
but
can
as
we get
we
a
fly
space
through it-
battle here? Yeah, all right.
as
this
we
kind
fly
of
through
works.
it, it kind of like
I'm going to
sticks
use
us.
centrifugal
And then-
force and magnets. Yay!
All right,
We blame
but
Brendan.
it also means it's a setback die for our opponents as well. It's just debris, right?
Absolutely, it does.
Okay.
But these are specific to your squadron, but I will remember that. And I've just got a lot of action happening.
It's awesome.
There's shots going everywhere. You can't even keep count, really. It's all
No.
just TIE fighter. It's all just TIEs.
Way
and
too focused on trying to shoot whatever.
20, 24, it's insane. They just keep flying at you from different directions. Like, most of you are here and you're going the same, clockwise direction around, but every now and then there's 4 of these TIE fighter jerks going the opposite way. Looks like they're just trying to slam into you at
flying
points.
tightly together, so
Yeah.
they make this wall of blaster fire that annihilates.
These weird like Doppler screeches from either side through the open door of the U-wing, like constantly. And rounds and rounds and rounds of fire. Your X-wings are losing quickly. You're down 1, 2, maybe adding to the debris field even more. And
ricochets.
the Aegis 2 itself is subject to quite a bit of targeted hostility as well, unfortunately. Some forward-mounted medium laser cannons firing your way.
Towards the front or the back?
This is going to be towards the back.
So that's 1 defense.
1 defense. All right. Debris field. All right. Difficulty for range. All right. And this is right. Yes, because it's based on the pilot. Here we go. It's the first shot at the U-wing. This is it's rookie day, and this guy really wants to impress his captain. He's excited. This is brand new tie, brand
he gets a
new
setback
weapons.
dice for being so nervous. I understand. Go ahead.
Yes, but I am
Oh,
going to also spend a dark side point, and I got to upgrade another one of these because this is got to get messy. Sorry. Here it comes.
Salivating for our blood over there, Dungeon Master.
Come on.
It's the blank curses. That's so funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is that? A failure?
Pew, 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 pew.
I don't even get like a threat to like, you know.
No, we made all the threats.
1 failure is my least favorite die result for one of my people.
The
All right, so
whippity
he's just so excited. It's targeted perfectly. He's inside. He's got the weird, ominous, like, oh, I'm going to get him. And then, like, his thumb slips. The gun doesn't even fire.
His head on the dash.
We forgot to take the thin plastic sheen off of all the targeting stuff, so it's just not triggering yet.
Click, 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 click,
Yeah,
click, click, click.
yeah.
Oh, man. Safety was on.
Unfortunate. And then, pal, what do you got?
I got some pew pew.
You got some pew pew on what?
You tell me. I'm taking the first target of opportunity. Is it
Well,
this jerk?
you've got opposing fighters. Maybe clear off some room for those Y-wings. Or you can try to take another shot at the tilt, although it's going to be a bit harder this time.
Why? Go for the fighters then. I'm going to try to suppress them, interrupt them.
Okay,
somehow
perfect.
make it easier for them to do their thing. And I'm going to flip a light side point.
Perfect. I will upgrade that for you. Click that button.
Okay, and then I'm going, and I guess that's that. What's my
Setback
difficulty?
die for the debris field, 2 difficulty.
Okay. It's heavy.
Oof.
Yep. Whiff.
Tough shots.
Well, there it is. You know, but this time you get a threat too.
Yes.
Are you happy now? Does that
I
take the sting
am.
out of the last roll? I
So
thought
your 4-point
Well,
harness that you are strapped in with, pal,
Yeah.
is now a 3-point harness as one of them snaps as debris hits it.
All right, I'll take care of that.
Ouch.
So now you're a little extra wobbly in there. All right.
Okay. May I take a maneuver and 2 strain to reattach myself? Or do I need to wait till my next turn?
Yes. So
All right,
you use
okay.
maneuver to grab the flappy bit, and then you use
I
the
use
secondary
another
maneuver to
put it back in
tie
there, like,
yourself. Okay, and you got a
Not
little
today,
weldy
gravity.
thing.
Not going anywhere.
That's so mean, Joshi. I was gonna have you fall out of. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Whatever.
Look, don't worry. I'll probably jump out on my own at some point.
Okay, promise. It's
You
an
kinda give me the
interesting thought.
opportunity to, but I will.
You see Pal Nullus through your peripheral vision, frantically tying his 4-point harness back together as you are rounding for a pass and making room for the Y-wings. But across Atreyu City, Salcoldi and Soli are in the back of a giant bird with a dozen or so ne'er-do-wells and
Like
Tanga
a giant
Donald.
dinosaur bird, right? Didn't you say it
Giant
has,
dinosaur bird.
like, feathers and
20,
yeah.
30 feet of leathery, feathery flight-having goodness.
Can I have a couple more details real quick? What color is it?
Yeah, it's
It
kind of like a
doesn't-
brownish yellow.
All right.
Now,
Does it have
the
a
plumage
crest?
tends to be pretty dark,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's patchy. So you've got the like pimply leather sort of skin everywhere, almost like a defeathered bird would be, but it's much thicker, like a, very
Like a
thick hide.
rhinoceros because
Yeah.
it's so big it carries 2 buses.
Yep, absolutely. So, Salcoldia, what are you doing with your new, paternal or maternal friend, parental friend?
We are taking off towards the mines.
All right. So you want it to continue on its daily task with all of its weird additions and not the box, which it might like. You never know.
Yeah, well, a more natural.
All right. I think this is going to be another zoology roll.
Xenology.
Xenology, right? Whoops.
Xenology.
That's
But it's
actually,
zoology
yeah,
in space. Right?
Xenology. Now, I think this is roughly the same pool as it was last time, so it's still a new thing for you, which is a setback, but you've bonded with it in this weird.
Established.
Yeah, you get a boost die as well for the established
Okay.
relationship you forged so quickly with this creature
Okay.
through a triumph.
Okay. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Wow. It is on tonight.
I do
Yeah,
have a
this makes
threat,
it-
but I have 2 successes.
All right. So the bird takes flight. It flies high. There, you can see another one being loaded into the cage, getting ready for some sort of transport. You see the mine overhead. It's just like a deep corkscrew drill down into the center of this inverted mountain, and it's rimmed almost Colosseum style with these industrial buildings. There's not like a lot of troop presence on the exterior, but you have no real idea what it's going to be like inside.
I'm picturing the giant like wheel shapes that intersect like cogs, but they're as big as buildings.
Yes.
And that's like the tip of the drill.
Yeah.
It's like a big rock crusher things.
Yep. And, the magnetization makes all of it extremely difficult, but you're flying on a big natural animal, so you don't have to worry about it at all.
Something that's evolved amongst all this
Yep.
magnetization.
But the threat, of course, is you do not go unnoticed. And
Wow.
realistically, it was a matter of time.
Hey, where goes my
aware.
bird?
But an unscheduled bird is flying to the mines right now, which is alerting Imperial force present on Atreyu City.
Mhm. But they're probably bored of the alert of a bird because there's other things going on elsewhere that they're probably.
Ooh, so
I'm
are you
hoping
saying
that
in the
they'll-
possible reality of this scene that they could feel this is a bird crying wolf scenario and perhaps ignore
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That is an
Because there's an
interesting
assault happening
reality.
somewhere else.
I really like it when you guys craft a lot of the reality of the scene, especially when there's like some sort of currency type of exchange. I love it a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I don't
you
know.
do, Executioner. Click the
Hey.
button.
All right, I'll click the button. Is everyone all right if I click the button?
What are you clicking a button?
He wants to
Light
spend
side.
a light side point because the Imperials that are monitoring this are so sick of these birds constantly flying wherever they want, setting off sensors. They now have to do 6 pages of reports. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's a
And they're
half
way
a
more
day
interested in what's going
every
on
time
on
this
the other
bird
side.
wants to see what's
Okay.
going on the other island.
I'm okay with it.
All right.
Great idea, Joshu.
I'm here to help.
So while you
Here
were
to the
noticed with that
executioner.
threat, the notice was not logged because it's just a bird doing a bird thing. It probably wants to go over there and eat something and then fly back.
That's all they do, man.
Just like a chicken.
So the slightly less than elegant, certainly prehistoric looking, probably dangerous flying beast transports you all safely over to the mine. Well, not the mine itself, but the giant floating inverted mountain that the mine is in. It perches on the edge of the cliff. It's a much smaller rock structure than Atreyu City, like you can clearly see from end to end of it and all of that. And it lands, perched, not throwing off any sort of alarms thanks to a well-spent light side point.
It slowly slides gracefully off the back of the bird and stubs her toe as she lands.
Bang.
Ow!
Well-
as I get off the bird, I pet its little chest. I give it another candy, and I tell it, "You're free."
Give it a candy.
It looks at you, perplexed, still not understanding your language after this 20-minute bond you've established.
We don't need to speak. We don't need words for our love.
Tanga and the rest of the mercenaries from Shady Town also disembark the beast. Well, what's the plan?
Now we infiltrate.
Get sneaky.
Is this something that happens next week?
Wow, this is in fact
no.
something that happens
No,
next
no.
week, Nellis. Thank you for that. I was waiting for her to commit to a building so I could then tell her we would find out next
No,
week.
10 more minutes. I don't want to go to bed
Oh,
yet.
I know.
You don't have to go
Unfortunately,
home.
we're going to have to find out
in
how the
with
rest of this assault goes next week, I'm
Came in with
afraid.
a full stop.
Amazing rolls
Oh.
tonight, everyone. Well done. And thank you so much for dressing up. Everybody looks so cool.
Thank you for letting us dress up.
Happy Halloween. Happy All Saints Day. You know, remember all
That
of
was
your ancestors.
good
Oh,
idea,
Dias las
Eileen.
Muertas.
Yeah, thank you for an awesome game. Say bye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for coming to our stream tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. That was episode 8. They are really talking at me, and it is hard to do this outro. Well, they are making fun of me, but it's great. We appreciate Brendan, of course, our executive producer for Patreon, and Eileen for making us all dress up. This was so much fun. If you want to get caught up on any of these episodes, check out Twitch or YouTube or the podcast as it slowly rolls out. Come back next week, Tuesday, 9:30. We will be here for more of this goodness and see where the rest of Act 3 takes us. I think somebody's going to die, but it's probably going to be my people. We'll find out what happens then. Thank you again so much for coming. If you want to know more about Dice for Brains, you can head over to diceforbrains.com or become one of our patrons, like everyone. That's super awesome. And you can do that at patreon.com/diceforbrains. Thank you so much for coming, and have a great night. Bye.